Kerr. Number 9, Rory Lockerbie. Number 11, Christian Johnson. 14, Lewis Young, as we are underway here at Dumfries Ice Bowl. Sharks gain the zone early. Ross Murray dumps it in, goes after his own pass, puts Thomas under pressure. Thomas will clear up the wall and finds number 14, who will be Toby Fisher. Plays it cross ice. Nottingham dump it in the zone. Bentham will get there first under pressure from Fisher. Bentham does well, collects it off the skate blade of Fisher. Bentham finds Kerry's defensive partner for tonight, drops it back towards Bentham. Sharks with a different top line here tonight than we've seen previous. Starting 6 for the Sharks, of course, is Callum Hepburn in nets. It's Richard Bentham and Stuart Kerr on defensive unit. It is Callum Boyd, it is Ross Murray, and it is Gordon Horn. Starting on the forwards line is Sharks after 45 seconds. Head for a quick line change. Both defence and forwards. It's on net and it's just wide. It's flashed on net by Danskin from the blue line, just wide of the net. Sharks complete their line change, and it's that top line that we've seen very regularly this season. Connor Henderson, Scott Henderson, Gapper. And it's Connor Henderson gains his own, rounds the net. Connor Henderson looks for Scott Henderson, but it's tipped off well, and Nottingham will come forward through Yokoyama. Yokoyama at speed gains his own, tries to round his man. Danskin does well to keep him to the outside.
Toner was brilliant there.
Bumped into the boards, does well. Toner takes off the puck, but it's Nottingham that still have it. They look round the boards, flicked away by Scott Henderson. Gappa helps it on its way, as does Danskin. Finds the captain, Struan Toner, plays it through centre ice. Scott Henderson can't quite control. They're picked up by the Lions, but it's going to come back just as quick. Nice play by Danskin, steps up, makes the play, dumps it in. Sharks head for another line change. They look for the pass through. Good play in centre ice from Stuart Kerr. It's picked up by Lewis Young. Lewis Young now gathers momentum in his own defensive zone and gains the attacking zones quickly. Flashes it across the front of the blue, nobody there for the Sharks, but it's kept in at the blue line by Finn Page. Finds Lewis Young. Lewis Houston does well, flicks it round the boards, goes out over the boards. Will he get away with a delay of game?
That was delay of game. That should have been delay of game.
He seems to be getting away with that one there. He flicked it straight over the plexi, just trying to keep it in the zone. Sharks maybe escape with one there.
Aye, definitely. That was delay of game.
Straight over the plexi. Ferguson feeling
just
generous.
Clipped the top of the plexi just to the right of the bench as we saw.
Hopefully it maybe just did clip the plexi, as you say, Andy. The Sharks win the face-off. Finn Page sends it down low. It's picked off by Nottingham, but Lewis Houston will throw it back round the boards. McBean can't get there, and it'll be picked up by Oxley. Oxley can only find Kerr in a white jersey for the Sharks to McBean. McBean in front. McBean tries to pull a move, plays the pass down low. Lewis Young picks it off on the boards in front of the Nottingham bench. Back to Page. Page fires from the point, low through legs, but it's wide of the target. But it'll be picked up by Kerr for the Sharks. Kerr skates in. Kerr fires through, tip in front by McBean. It's saved, and it's cleared away at the second attempt by Luke Thomas for the Lions, who come through centre ice. Wall has it. He loses out to the Sharks, and it's a bit of a battle in centre ice just now. McBean does well, lifts the stick, takes the puck, skates back into his own defensive zone, turns and looks to go pretty quick here. McBean just dumps it in from the blue. Sharks will head for a line change. It'll be picked up by Marples. Marples looks for the long stretch pass towards Toby Fisher it is, but Bentham does well, lifts his stick, can't get on the end of it. Sharks come forward now. Gordon Horn through the centre, does well to control, rounds his man well. Nice move, Gordon Horn, just too far beyond the goal line. But it's picked up again by Horn. He sends it round the boards to Murray. Murray plays it back to where it came from. It's Boyd that has it now for the Sharks. Boyd skates up the boards, pulls a turn, finds the pass to Bentham. Nice pass from Bentham towards Ross Murray. Can't quite control, but Murray will gain it now. Plays it back towards Christian Johnson, who sends it round at speed. Bounces off the back of the net to Boyd. Boyd will put it on net. Big blocker save. Back on net by Johnson. Very high and floaty. Picked up by Boyd. Boyd finds Bentham on the blue, finds Christian Johnson on the far side. He skates in past the Nottingham bench, flashes it on net, paddled away again by the Nottingham netminder. Pressure has been all Sharks. Ross Murray can't quite control it. Taken off him by Kieran Gibbs, but Ross Murray will put Gibbs under pressure. Gibbs still has it for the Lions. Sends it round the boards towards Marples. Picked off by the Sharks. Do well to keep it in the zone through Finn Page. Couple of bodies bumping in, the fans like that one. It's Cleves and Murray bumping into each other and it is the Nottingham man that ends up on his bottom. But it's Boyd for the Sharks. Boyd through,
pass.
Nice pass to Gordon Horn. Gordon Horn has it behind the net, looks for Murray in front, can't quite control. Sharks still have it in the zone as they head off one by one for the line changes. Look for Danskin. Danskin can't quite keep it in the zone.
Yeah, kept it in.
Yeah, done well actually, just kept it on the blue paint. It's Nottingham that clear it only as far as Danskin's glove. Danskin does well to glove it down, gains the zone, he's all alone. But he looks for the pass, he's tied up well. It's a nice move by number 28 of the Lions. It is Kieran Gibbs, ties him up. Yokoyama gets a shot away on Hepburn.
Good save.
Yeah, does well, just pushes it wide and the Sharks will pick up through Danskin.
It was an early shot there by Yokoyama. He could have caught a lesser keeper unawares.
Gappa now gains his own, nice stretch pass by Connor Henderson. Gappa controls well, he's picked off though. And Nottingham will build an attack through number 96, Tristan Grimshaw. Yokoyama will throw a shot backhanded on net. And he's bumped into the back of the net by Liam Danskin. Pushes the net on Callum Hepburn's back, who pushes it off, not too impressed with that one.
Bit of handbags there. Danskin just gave him a shove in the back. He hit the top of the net came forward. No danger then. Craigie playing a wee bit status quo for me. That's nice, young man.
That's it, aye.
Can't be a bit of the co.
Scott Henderson in for the face-off for the Sharks. He wins that one, but it's going to come back to Yokoyama. Yokoyama's under pressure from Toner. Good work by the Sharks captain. Uses experience, bumps him into the boards and takes the puck. Danskin will pick it up for the Sharks behind his own net. Danskin's hit late by Yokoyama. Toner doesn't like it. Here we go. Struan Toner's trying to take Yokoyama. Yokoyama puts in a late hit. Struan Toner doesn't like it. Yokoyama drops to the ice.
Yokoyama just threw himself to the ice, so he wasn't going to have more Toner. But
now Danskin's going with Yokoyama. Let's go, Liam Danskin. They're tied up just now. Yokoyama gets the helmet up, Danskin gets him down, and he is down. They're back up again, we're going round two. Yokoyama a couple over the top. Danskin now. Danskin gets Yokoyama to the ground again. Liam Danskin takes the win on that one.
Couple of good punches by Yokoyama in retaliation, but he was knocked down twice there by Danskin. Now, I'm suspecting here there's going to be 2 penalties on the Sharks.
Yeah, good work, Danko. Yokoyama skates in, takes a seat, as does Danskin. Couple of choice words from the self-proclaimed goon himself, Ross Murray. Have you seen the TikTok through the week?
I'll tell you what, Yokoyama sitting down for 5 minutes, that's not going to help the Alliance.
Yeah, no, it's maybe not the daftest move from the Sharks.
They're just looking out for those wee late hits though, and that...
Yeah,
Yokoyama deserved it.
He hit late, Toner didn't like it. Toner tried to get him to go, he didn't want it, but for some reason he bounced back up and wanted to go with Danskin.
With the Toner one, he saw Toner put a couple of punches on him and he kind of threw himself to the ice so he wouldn't take any more. Then he got back up and Danko had a go.
Yeah, thought I'll fight with Danskin, yeah.
Danko's a wee bit smaller, we'll go with him.
2+2 on the Sharks on the board, so could be a 4-minute power play here for the Lions,
and
I presume.
And
5-minute coincidentals, yeah.
So I'm guessing Toner and Yokoyama will have the coincidentals and Danskin will have the 4.
No, the 4 will be for Toner because Yokoyama wanted none of it. And it'll be 5 minutes each, Yokoyama and Danskin, because they did actually dance.
Murray's having a shake of his head, he's not happy with the chat.
Yeah, Murray just relaying the information that it's going. I thought Mr. Ferguson was pointing the length of the ice there. No, he's just signalling both teams to get ready.
Yep. Sharks are always dangerous on the shorthand. We've said this so many times this season.
It seems it could be 4-on-4. There's 4 Sharks, there's 4 Lions, but there's only 4. No, there's a 5th Lion now.
5th line coming on.
So it is going to be 4 minutes of an advantage for the Lions, as Andy says. So Sharks are dangerous.
I'm just
first face-off warning to the Lions.
Being more hopeful than anything else, to be honest. I don't like a 4-minute penalty in playoff hockey.
Sharks do well to win the face-off, but Nottingham steal it back. It comes up to the high point. Toby Fisher sends it down low. Nice pass. Well controlled by Crosto. Back to Fisher. Flashed on net. Hepburn does enough, just saves it. and Murray clears the length of the ice. Gordon Hornell going to get there first. Netminder has to play it, sent round the boards by Sheldon. Gordon Horn nearly controls it, nearly pinches it off of Fisher.
Fisher's been impressive so far.
Yeah, Fisher's been busy.
That's offside,
Yeah, they just skate offside.
That's Solway trying to get in and set it up too soon, I think.
Just a bit too keen.
Yep. Still 0-0, 13:43 left. The first.
Sharks win the face-off again. Lewis Houston does well, wins that one for the Sharks, but it's Nottingham in possession. Fisher flashes it across to Marples, who dumps it into the zone. Chase after his own one. Carroll get there first, sends it round the boards. Nasty bounce, picked off by Grimshaw in front. Big kick save by Hepburn, done well. Bentham tries to clear the zone, can't quite get rid of it. Boyd will put his man under pressure. Good work by Boyd,
Chance.
finds Lewis Houston. Lewis Houston 2-on-1, nice move through the middle. Lewis Houston straight into the logo of Luca Sheldon in the Nottingham net.
So we're saying a loose pass in centre ice, and Sharks have got the speed to put pressure on in that shorthand. Bentham done well, he probably saved a certain goal, he just got his stick in there at the other end.
Yeah, so it's a penalties seem to be 5 minutes each for fighting and 2+2 on Toner. Didn't hear what. Sharks will pick it up through Scott Henderson behind the net, looks for the pass in front towards Gappa. It's picked off well by Nottingham, but they only find Gappa, who finds Scott Henderson, does well. Scott Henderson will just let it clear the zone, take a wee bit more time off the penalty. We've nearly had 2 minutes of this one. It's sent high. Gappa will go after it for the Sharks. He'll put his man under pressure, sends it round the boards, just exactly where Gappa was skating. Gappa does well, he's digging in hard. 2 Lions, Scott Henderson's there helping him out. Scott Henderson comes out with it now.
Gappa read that play beautifully.
Yeah, he did, done well, did Gappa, but it's Nottingham will clear it. And they'll come forward now through. Berezovsky finds the pass towards Thomas. Thomas can't get his shot away, it's blocked well by Christian Johnson. Plays it round the boards towards Finn Page. Finn Page sends it up the length of the ice. Netminder will have to play that one.
That's
Sheldon behind his own net, and that's us
the
in
first penalty elapsed.
Yeah, first one killed off by the Sharks. Nottingham will come again through. Miles Keogh stops up in his own zone. They put under pressure by Lewis Young, but they find the pass round the boards towards Kieran Gibbs.
Sharks have
Gibbs is tied
effectively
up.
killed this penalty brilliantly,
Yeah,
because
they've
there's
done
hardly
well.
been any set up.
They've done well. It's played around the boards. And it's picked up by Grimshaw. Grimshaw's under pressure from Kerr. Kerr does well to tie him up, steals the puck, sends it round the plexi. Only as far as the point is kept in by Miles Keogh, number 12, towards
The Lions
Jack
have set it up
Showstone.
now for once.
Yeah, Sharks are in a tight box formation though, and the pass is slack. Finn Page will do enough, he clears the zone. It's another 50 seconds off the penalty clock. Good work from the Sharks on the PK for the last 3 minutes. Bentham does well, steps up, plays his man, takes the puck off of him, and Sharks have it through Lewis Young. Jonathan McBean now. Jonathan McBean, some nice hands there, but is crowded out by 2 Lions players. Bentham does enough to clear it the length of the ice, and Lucas Sheldon will come out and stop it up.
I love that hit for Richard
Yeah,
Bentham.
great hit by Bentham. Sometimes you take a hit to make a play. That just broke up a play. And this helped Sharks kill this penalty. They send it in deep. Ross Murray's going to get there first for the Sharks. Ross Murray will pass it all the way back to Stuart Kerr. 30 seconds left on the penalty kill. Sensible penalty kill from the double champions. Stuart Kerr fires a shot, and it's a kick save from Sheldon, one he had to make.
It's from his own goal line, just about. It was on target.
Must have been about 50 foot of ice there in front of him. They fired it on net, and it would have been nestling in the bottom corner. Ross Murray now puts his man under pressure. 5 seconds to go as the Sharks return to full strength.
Brilliant
Captain
penalty kill by
Stuart Toner
Solway.
back on the ice for the Sharks. The Sharks have possession now. Stuart Kerr plays it through neutral ice. Stuart Toner go after this one. He'll play a makeshift forward for the next couple of minutes. Again, Bentham crushes his man into the boards and takes the puck clean as you like. Experienced play by Richard Bentham. Stuart Kerr has it for the Sharks, stops up behind his own net, plays it towards Bentham. Bentham stops outside the face-off circle, drops back in behind the red line, finds Gappa. Gappa, nice no-look pass to Connor Henderson, plays it up to Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson, nice move to gain the zone, finds Gappa in front. Gappa flashes, big kick save by Sheldon. Christian Johnson plays a nice pass to Gappa. Gappa does well to control it, came at him at speed. Finds Connor Henderson back to Gappa. Touch fire wide by Gappa, not much wide.
Sharks are turning it on now.
Yeah, Sharks have killed off that 4, and you can tell they can smell blood. That will go for icing as the Lions flick it through the length of the ice.
There's been some sexy hockey played and all that. Beautiful 4-minute penalty kill, and getting back to full strength on. Some lovely little moves. Gappa in particular has been fantastic.
Yeah, Gappa done well there. Good control as the Sharks head for another line change. Certainly keeping the legs fresh on the ice tonight. First shift for Scotty Crane, the Crane Train. A game that I'm sure will suit Scotty Crane when it is as physical. The face-off is won by McBean, fires it around the boards. Nottingham will come forward now. There's a penalty against the Sharks. They come forward, they get the shot on net. Christian Johnson does well to stand his man up.
Page with a slash.
As both players leave the fighting penalty, Danskin and Yokoyama. Yokoyama's going straight on.
There's a trip.
Finn Page, Finn Page is heading for a trip. As the Sharks go back on the penalty kill. Sure, that's not the 10 minutes Martin would have wanted of the first period, Andy.
Would have been looking for a goal.
6 of them minutes on the penalty kill, not ideal for the Sharks. Face-off is won by Gordon Horn, kind of half tied it up. Bentham crushes. Bentham's going for a penalty now. Bentham's getting sent to the penalty box now for a hit. It's going to be called as boarding.
Yokoyama gave him a gesture as he goes off. And this is what the Lions are going to have. It's their game plan. It's going to be a messy. Yeah, the Sharks, if you keep giving the Lions enough chances, you're going to take one of them. Sharks are going to have to keep their heads here. Thanks, Pippa. You're saying it sounds really clear where you are. We appreciate you joining us wherever you are. Thank you. And everybody who's listening, thanks for joining us on Sharks Radio. And one's going to call the next 1 minute 50, 5 on 3 on.
It's going to be a tough one for the Sharks. Sharks just need a wee bit of composure here, I think.
Can the Lions not count here? I mean,
there's one more.
It's happened a couple of times here.
It's got to be a penalty on the face. Surely that's got to be a face-off, you know.
A face-off violation,
yeah, a warning on the delay of game, surely. But they win the face-off. They look for the flash pass towards Yokoyama. Yokoyama sends it on net. Kerr does well, keeps his stick down, blocks the initial shot. It goes back to Yokoyama.
You've got to be lucky sometimes to kill a 5 on 3.
Yeah. Good work there by Gordon Horn as well. The shot's coming in from Tristan Grimshaw. Gets enough of his stick on it, deflects high above the plexi. Behind Hepburn's net.
There's no real option here for fast move. Well, there is now that Scotty's on, but Danskin and Kerr, and now Scotty.
Yeah, it's tied up in the face-off circle, and it comes out to Toby Fisher. Toby Fisher looks for the pass. Kerr deflects off the skates. Kerr sends it the length of the ice, not far off the target as well from Stuart Kerr. Does well, takes a couple of seconds off the penalty, but Nottingham will come forward now through Ben Marples. Marples finds Yokoyama. Yokoyama's under pressure from Kerr. Good work from Stuart Kerr, digs in well. Yokoyama does still have the puck, but that's fantastic defensive work from Stuart Kerr. Denies the puck.
50 seconds left on the 5 on 3.
Nottingham gain the zone. They've got the man at the back
door.
And it's in. Yeah, it's a 1-0 lead. Nottingham take the lead. Jack Roslow, nice stretch pass across from Yokoyama. Nottingham find the first goal of the game at the back door. Good play from the Lions.
Just squeaked in and no more. Good goal. But that's a 5 on 3. That's what that was.
Yeah, that's backed it now. Now it'll be a 5-on-4.
56 seconds left in the 5-on-4, so Sharks still on the PK. And absolutely not the start Martin would have wanted on.
Yeah, definitely not. Sharks, although a lot of puck, they do look like they've been pretty flat in the first couple of minutes of this game. As Boyd puts a nice hit in on the boards. This is a game for Callum Boyd.
Chance.
But they'll gain the zone. It's 14. Fisher, yeah, flashes it. There's going to be another penalty on the Sharks. Penalty shot. Callum Hepburn. Callum Hepburn's faced a few of these in recent weeks, but a massive opportunity, and I'm sure it will be Yokoyama that takes it.
That was Boyd probably on a hook or something as Fisher came through. They tied up on the boards and Fisher got away quick. Got to the blue line first, pass came through, and hooked back by Boyd, and now we've got a penalty shot.
Yeah, it's Toby Fisher's going to take it up against the great wall of Callum Hepburn.
A fantastic chance here for the Lions to double their lead though.
And of course, if they do, they've still got penalty minutes on the board as well, because this is a penalty shot. So Fisher comes forward now, collects the puck at centre ice up against Callum Hepburn. Callum Hepburn, as always, aggressive out his net. Hepburn does well, and it's denied by the great wall of Hepburn. Does well, reads the play. Fisher cannot beat him.
Tell you what, that could be vital. Could be vital. 27 seconds left in the penalty. It's currently Solway Sharks 0. Nottingham Lions 1. And the Lions have just missed a penalty shot, and they're still on the power play for the next 27 seconds.
It's won by the Lions. Comes back to the point, sends it through bodies. Big kick saved by Hepburn, does well to get it wide. Gapper send it round the boards. It's stick down at centre ice by Grimshaw. Under pressure from Scott Henderson. Good work by Scott Henderson, makes the Nottingham man retreat, but Nottingham come again. 10 seconds to go on Bentham's penalty. Grimshaw still has it, dumps it into the zone. Christian Johnson will get there first, sends it round the boards. Toner will pick it up, and it's 5-on-5 hockey. Toner does enough to clear the zone as the Sharks head for a line change. They dump it into the zone. Christian Johnson will get there first for the Sharks, under pressure from Wall, but finds Struan Toner. Nice pass to Connor Henderson. Connor Henderson now at speed, gains his own. Nice pass in front towards Scott Henderson. He's picked off well by Lions defenseman, but it's back to Connor Henderson, back to Scott Henderson, and it's it! Oh, it's the bar! It's the bar. Connor Henderson is sure that went in. Callum Hepburn will come out and play that one. Nice play by Hepburn, does well.
Things happening all over the ice one.
Yeah, it's getting tasty, this one. Yokoyama took a bump at centre ice as well. And Scott Henderson now. Scott Henderson to Connor Henderson. Back to Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson.
Oh, what a
massive kick save.
What a save,
Sharks' bodies tangle up behind the net, and it's Yokoyama settles things down for the Lions. Dumps it in. And Danskin will get their first couple of minutes of excitement there here at Dumfries Ice Bowl. It is still Nottingham Lions 1, Solway Sharks 0.
Sheldon will never
how many? Yeah, Nottingham are getting called for too many men. There was 6 of them on the ice for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds there, Andy. There was 6, 7 players on the ice.
Terrible.
It was terrible. But Melrose spotted it, and we will have a penalty against the Lions for too many men. 5:48 to play in this first period. Solway Sharks with their first power play opportunity of the night.
I know you like a keeper, Owen. I know you like our keeper, but how
what a save! Yeah, fantastic save by Sheldon.
What a fantastic save! That'll be on the GoPros later on. I'll tell you, that's worth watching just for that. What a save!
The face-off's won by McBean, finds Bentham. Kerr on the blue line. Back to Bentham. Bentham does well to control, finds Lewis Houston. Lewis Houston back to Bentham. Back to Kerr. Boyd's tied up in front. Boyd's bumping up against the Nottingham captain, but it's McBean fires just wide.
Oh.
Yeah, Callum Boyd's getting tied up with Luke Thomas, the captain of Nottingham. There was a couple of slashes each side, not called by the referee.
After the whistle was dead, Thomas decided to have a throw his stick against Boyd's legs. Boyd's stick was on the ground.
Daniel Ferguson just standing watching it. The whistle goes.
That's not finished. That's not finished.
Definitely not. They're both at the same side of the face-off circle.
This is going to go.
Yeah, I think it is.
Thomas has got Boyd's stick there.
Yeah.
Lets it go just in time.
Lions clear the zone. Kerr picks it up for the Sharks, turns in behind his own net.
Sharks 1:30 left in the power play.
Stuart Kerr finds Jonathan McBean. Jonathan McBean gains his own, drops it back towards Kerr. Nice play, Bentham. Bentham, another big kick save by Sheldon in the Lions net. He's already proven big game player so far, and the Sharks will come forward. Bentham at speed. Bentham will play it down low to Callum Boyd. Callum Boyd does well to escape his man. Bentham parks himself in front of the net. Good play by Bentham. Big body to move, and it's shot by McBean just wide.
Bentham's having a game. I mean, he is.
Yeah, Bentham's doing well. Callum Boyd will get there first for the Sharks as the Lions head for a line change. McBean now gains his own for the Sharks. McBean, nice move by McBean. McBean, nice hands through the 5. Yes! Callum Boyd!
Boom!
Lucas Sheldon not happy.
Lucas Sheldon wanting all sorts of stuff, but that's a cracking goal.
Jonathan McBean does well, ties him up, goes for the 5-hole. Misconduct penalty against number 25, Owen Davis, for the Lions as well. It's all going off here. And the best part of that play, Andy, was Zach Yokoyama missing the hit on the boards at centre ice and looking very foolish.
Tell you what, get yourself down at the Shark Flank every week. What a game. What a move by Johnny McBean.
Fantastic hands by McBean. Lucas Sheldon
took something special to beat Sheldon so far.
Seems to think he was fouled. I'm not sure what went on.
Bench getting a word here.
Callum Boyd was there to tap it in at the back door, and it is a misconduct penalty against Owen Davis of the Lions. So Sharks have tied this one up at 4:39 left to play, and they are back on the power play straight away. It's won by Yokoyama in the face-off circle for the Lions. They send it round hard. Hepburn will come out his net, stops it up, plays it back towards Struan-Toner. Struan-Toner will set a play here. We've seen this one before, Andy. Struan-Toner
fancies it.
Straight through, gains the zone, drops it back to Gappa, to Christian Johnson. Got Johnson, fires through bodies. Sheldon done enough to keep it out. He'd probably want to try and save that one again.
Dear.
There's hits going in.
Not liking that for Ben Marples at all.
Yeah,
got away with it.
Not the best hit, but Sharks still have possession. Scott Henderson back to Gappa. Gappa to Henderson. It's lost out. Done well, Henderson, under pressure from Yokoyama. And Christian Johnson does enough. Connor Henderson now flashes it on net. It was there to be poked at. Toner is tied up with Yokoyama. Yokoyama obviously doesn't fancy that one. He's already dropped to the ice with Toner before.
Yokoyama is an instigator. You know who Yokoyama reminds me of? Callum Boyd.
Yeah.
Same sort of player.
Yep.
Love him if he's in your team. Can't mind Dylan if he's not.
Ross Meekin listening in. Of course, he was guest on the show last week. Mystic Meeker is predicting a 6-2 win for the Solway Sharks tonight, so we'll see if that comes true. It's the face-off is won by the Lions, but they ping it forward and it goes the length of the ice. Hepburn stops it up. Christian Johnson finds Toner, who plays it down the boards to Henderson. Henderson's up against Marples, tied up against the boards, and it's in feet, two from each digging in. Sharks do well to come out with it though through McBean. McBean looks to Christian Johnson at the back door. Johnson can control but can't get his shot away, still has it. Hit late, a bit of an elbow high into the face, but the Sharks still have it. Struan-Toner through bodies, straight off the stick, and it snaps. Yeah,
broke Yokoyama's stick.
Snapped Yokoyama's stick. There was a fair bit of power in that shot.
Can you imagine if it hit his shins?
Yeah, exactly. Gappa has it now for the Sharks, still in the zone. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Gappa plays it down low to McBean. McBean finds Scott Henderson, fires high just over the crossbar. Struan-Toner will get there first for the Sharks. He's tied up, throws it round the boards. Struan-Toner does well, keeps going. He's like a train through bodies, finds Gappa. Gappa to McBean. McBean fires. Good catch or save over the net. It's tied up on the back of the net. A lot of bodies fishing in it at there.
Lions trying to follow
it. Sharks get it.
McBean
has it. McBean, go! Top shelf! Where you keep the good whiskey! Jonathan McBean fires high over the catcher of Lucas Sheldon, and just as the penalty expires, Solway Sharks take a 2-1 lead.
Brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant goal.
Once again, it's patient on the power play from the Sharks. The penalty just expires. You hear Callum tapping the stick at the other end. McBean takes his time, fires high, top shelf. Catcher, no chance that Sheldon was getting his catcher up there to stop that one, and the Sharks have the lead for the first time tonight. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in this first period, and someone has lit the touch paper. Off we go. Gordon Horn wins the face-off for the Sharks. Have it through Richard Bentham. Sharks just playing with it in their own defensive zone just now. Stuart Kerr. Stuart Kerr finds Gordon Horn. No, Callum Boyd, sorry. That's a Boyd move we've seen before. Nottingham man has tried to make a hit on Boyd. Boyd skated round him. He's missed the hit and he's gave himself a sore one as he's hit the plexi. Nottingham bench not too happy, but when you try and put a hit in a player and miss it.
Oh, there was nothing wrong with it other than the fact he missed it.
Yeah, Boyd's done nothing. He just missed the hit and he's crashed the boards pretty hard.
He's up on his knees just now, so whoever it is, I'm trying to see. Might be Marples. No, it's seven.
It's Cleves.
Alexander Cleves. Skating off under his one part.
Yeah, not much of it, but he is up. Yeah, we've seen Boyd do that so many times before. He just ducks underneath the hit and bumps the man into the boards. And the man hit the boards pretty hard there, and he's sat down on the bench, looked like a bit of a sore one. Said it before. Face-off's won by Gordon Horn. Finds Stuart Kerr, plays it round the boards towards Murray. Stuart Kerr again for the Sharks, tries to play it round the boards, but Nottingham will try to clear only as far as Kerr's skate blades. Kerr skates the blue to Page. Page fires through bodies just wide of the net. Callum Boyd will get there first. It's bumped into the boards. Boyd falls to the ice, but it's the Sharks that have possession. That's a late hit there by Yokoyama. Boyd puts a hit in and Thomas. This game is getting tasty. There's bodies on the line here. It's put on net. Callum Boyd will put Thomas under pressure, but he'll flash it round the boards. Yokoyama's tripped by Page. Yep. Nice move by Yokoyama in neutral ice. Falls to the ice. Finn Page gets called for tripping. So for the last 1 minute 38 of this period, if they don't score, the Lions have the man advantage.
If you watch the Lions, as we do a lot on their fantastic stream, you'll see that move by Yokoyama a lot. The long pass out, plays it to the backhand and twists. Page has obviously not seen it. And he got his stick in and he just tripped him up.
Yeah, just gets done with it.
It's a good move. Good move by Yokoyama. Ooh, 1:38 left,
1:38, as you say, Andy, to go. The face-off's won well by Scott Henderson. Bentham fires it round the boards, and Toby Fisher will chase under pressure from Scott Henderson. Can only send it backhanded round the boards towards Grimshaw. Grimshaw picks it up, comes at speed. Nottingham look to build something here. Nice play by Scott Henderson, just disrupts it enough. A good play by Gappa. Gappa one-on-one. Goal! Short-handed goal! Peter Gappa! Solway Sharks, short-handed are always dangerous. Peter Gappa proving that there, and Sharks are up by 2. Solway Sharks 3, Nottingham Lions 1. 1 minute 38 still to go on the penalty kill for the Sharks, but proven they only need 4 men to score a goal sometimes in this league.
Brilliant move.
Great move. Scott Henderson disrupted it well. Gappa read the pass brilliantly, puts his stick on the ice, breaks up the play, and finishes low through the 5-hole. Nottingham look shook. They gain the zone though through Fisher. Fisher stops up on the boards, plays the pass across to Grimshaw. Grimshaw plays it towards Yokoyama, back to Fisher. Fisher's under pressure. Good work by Richard Bentham. And Lewis Houston will have a foot race here. He doesn't fancy it. Eases off. Lets Grimshaw go for it. Sends it round the boards, and Bentham will get there first for the Sharks. Bentham does well, stops up. It's getting pulled. Yeah, it's a pull of his shirt there. That would be
clear pull of the shirt.
Yeah, Boyd does well. Plays it round the boards to walk past his man. He's bumped into the boards by Yokoyama and dispossessed. Dumped in. Bentham puts his man into the boards, and it's cleared.
After the shirt pull.
Nice play there by Christian Johnson. Just clears it the length of the ice.
15 seconds to go.
Sheldon actually misses the puck on the first attempt, but can Nottingham Lions build anything here? Good break-up play again. Christian Johnson does well, dispossesses Yokoyama. Murray will put Grimshaw under pressure. It's tied up. There's 3 Lions. There's Ross Murray on his own. Ross Murray does well, and that will do it for the end of period 1 action here. Nottingham Lions started the brighter team, taking a 1-goal lead, but it is the double champions who have answered back. 3 unanswered goals. Solway Sharks with a 3-1 lead after the first 20 minutes. And
a lot of palaver before we get started this second.
But to be fair, it's not normally that quick boom, boom, let's go. Daniel Ferguson wanting things done, wanting back up the road sharp tonight. It's Nottingham Lions that win the face-off. They dump it in, Hepburn comes out his net, takes a speed off it, and they clear through Stuart Kerr. It gets almost a lucky deflection off of Scott Henderson, but he'll pick it up under pressure. But Scott Henderson battling hard and just killing the seconds off as Sharks return to full strength. Nottingham look to clear it through their own defensive zone. It's picked up. Number 11 plays it round the boards. Bear with me as I find the team lines again to bring you the names. So it's Stuart Kerr for the Sharks. Looks for the nice low pass. Blocked in front, but Gappa will fire it early on net, just wide from Gappa. Clever play. Sharks head for the line change. Stuart Kerr though in deep. Stuart Kerr, it's there.
Goal.
He's poking away at it. Stuart Kerr is pushed to the ice as I find my team lines.
No goal announced. But
there is no goal announced.
Couple of players with their hands up, but well saved.
Yeah, well saved. I think it was just in between the pads of Lucas Sheldon and the Lions net. Stuart Kerr poking away at it, done enough to cover it over, take the whistle.
Goal judge never put the light on, so fairly confident that didn't cross the line.
McBean wins the face-off for the Sharks, finds Lewis Houston. Lewis Houston misses his pass, and it'll be a foot race here. Good covering play by Liam Danskin to get there before Berejowski for the Lions. Play it round the boards. It's picked up by the captain, Struan Toner for the Sharks. Skates back, finds the tape of Lewis Young. Nice pass. Lewis Young will come forward, gains his own well. Nice move. Tight angle, rings the post. Off the beans on toast, and Nottingham will clear through neutral ice, controlled by Danskin to Lewis Young. Lewis Young just fires it in deep. Bit of a difficult bounce off the Zamboni doors. Gloved down well by Lewis Young. Struan Toner now through the face-off circle. Oh, good opportunity from the Sharks. Harsh just call a high stick on Lewis Young, considering he's small.
I was going to say, the stick was about 4 foot off the ground, but it was still above his head.
Cammy Hamill's not here tonight, so Lewis is the smallest on the ice. Struan or Gappa or somebody could have done that, and it would only have been elbow high.
He knew it was just a reaction. He knew he'd done it as soon as he'd done it. Type thing. It's higher than the bar of the post, so bar of the goal. Sorry.
Face-offs won by Gordon Horn in neutral ice, and Richard Bentham picks it up, dumps it in high on net. Sheldon will have to catch it. He's under pressure from Gordon Horn, holds on for a face-off inside the zone. Good little work there by the Sharks. They win the face-off, they dump it in high, and they get the face-off inside the zone.
Yeah, Sharks have started this period well. 18-20 left, 3-1 to Solway.
It certainly is, and the Sharks win the face-off. Callum Boyd under pressure does well, digs it out as far as Ross Murray. Callum Boyd puts in a hit on his man. Callum Boyd is bumped by Grimshaw in front. Boyd's getting called for that one there, even though Grimshaw skated into him. Boyd's called for interference, even though the Nottingham man skated into him. And he goes back down. He got up and he went back down.
He's making a bit of a melee, I have to say. I don't like to say that about hockey players at all, but he's getting help off the ice. Maybe it's his knee. I know he's holding his face, but it looks to me like there might be a muscle problem or something in his knee. Don't know. He heads off.
He's going off. Yeah, it doesn't look good. So speed of recovery to the Nottingham man. If it has anything untowards, he's helped off, and I'm sure the rink staff will help him out.
Having a seat down there.
He's maybe heard us and how entertaining it is for the stands, Andy, so wants to join us.
Well, as you say, he got up and he tried to skate away and then he went down, so there might have been a muscle problem or something in his leg or his knee. I mean, he's not in any danger. If anybody's listening, he's a relative. He's not in any danger.
He's back on.
He's back on the ice and skating.
Oh no, sorry, that's two players that helped him off. That was two of the guys that helped him off.
Aye, no, they're quite right to skate across the rink. A long way round the other way. You got to walk through all the fans. So, Ben's having a chat. Mark Bradbury over there, discussing with Ferguson and Victoria.
Fantastic to see yet another local official stepping up into the league as well. Obviously last season it was Lisa Calvert stepped up and is very much a regular everywhere apart from the Sharks. Obviously the conflict of interest with young Kyle playing.
Yep.
But great to see Victoria in recent weeks getting a lot of games down here and stepping up into the league. Obviously the player pathway works in Dumfries, and it looks like the referee pathway is ticking as well as the Sharks win the face-off. Short-handed, Gordon Horn comes forward, fires it through Yokoyama's legs, it bobbles, and it is collected by Luca Sheldon. Ross Murray and Zach Yokoyama having conversations now. Yokoyama seems to want to be everybody's best friend tonight.
Who's the best keeper between Sheldon and Blair, in your opinion?
Oh, tough one. It's a very tough one. Two very good goalkeepers. I wouldn't like to call it. Wouldn't like to call it, and I'd like to see more of them to call it. It'd be unfair on.
Both good players.
Yeah.
Both very good players.
Great work by Ross Murray. He is defending from the front. He's behind the Nottingham net. He's tied up. He's holding. Surely.
He's looking at the official, man. Called by Ferguson.
Not too happy, but Gordon Horn dispossesses Yokoyama against the zone, but he kind of dumps it in, and Sharks head for a change. Nottingham will build a play. They look for the stretch pass. That will go for icing because the man on the far side, wearing number 14, it is Toby Fisher, can't quite control. So with 40 seconds of the penalty elapsed, actually it's probably been more Sharks possession.
It was more Sharks possession. Sharks started off well, but the penalty, just the breaking up of play, plays into Nottingham Lions' hands. That's how they're going to win this game if they're going to get into it. It's that scrappy stuff. A free-flowing game. Sharks are going to win this. Sharks are always dangerous on the shorthand, as we've said so many times this season on.
Yeah, we have. It's Nottingham that win the face-off though, and Nottingham come forward through their own defensive zone. Nice wee pass and play. They lose out. Oh, Gappa one-on-one. Gappa through. Gappa short-handed.
Yes!
Goal! It's a second short-handed goal of the night for the Solway Sharks. It's a second goal of the night for Peter Gappa. And the Sharks lead 4 goals, 2-1. Still 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the Callum Boyd penalty, and it's the Sharks that add to their tally. Nice move by Gappa.
What was Ross McMeekin saying last week about him being like foreseeing the future? And we just say short-handed for the Sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time. Gappa with the famous Gappa move, coming in forehand, move to backhand, put Sheldon on his backside, flipped it in, easy as you like.
Yeah.
Gappa's on fire.
Daniel Ferguson asking how many times are Nottingham allowed. Don't think Victoria Jane look happy that the bench coach has left the Nottingham bench. I think obviously going to check the welfare of their player, but it's left them coachless on the bench, and it's Sharks that dump it forward. Yeah, Blower comes out, collects it, and Nottingham are getting a penalty here. Sharks dump it long from their own defensive zone, and Lucas Sheldon, sorry, not Blower, catches it, drops it to play, but he's under pressure from Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson is hooked back.
Henderson's brilliant
by Owen Davis.
On the PK.
And it is a 2-minute penalty for the Sharks. So we will have a little bit of 4-on-4 action here for 46 seconds, followed by a minute and 20 seconds of Sharks power play. First face-off warning for Nottingham, been a long time coming. Face-off won by Scott Henderson, finds Stuart Kerr, who walks the blue, stops up, walks the blue a bit more, plays a nice wee move through the legs of the Nottingham man. Gappa rounds his man well. Gappa still has it for the Sharks. Gappa looks in menacing form, finds Scott Henderson blocked well in front, and Nottingham will come forward through Kieran Gibbs. Kieran Gibbs looking for help.
Pass.
Yeah, nice move in front.
Good defence.
Yeah, Jack Johnston was through one-on-one, but Toner just done enough, bumped him off the puck, Both players slide into the boards.
That's offside.
Yeah, Scott Henderson just...
Oh, I know he's angry, but he was offside, I think.
Scott Henderson just gained the zone before Kerr put it in.
It was tight. We're all agreeing. Either me were saying it was tight, but it was offside.
Yeah, I think so. It's the Sharks that have it through neutral ice. It's dumped in through Lewis Houston. He'll chase after Cleves. He's bumped his man into the boards. No call on the play. Nice play by Houston as the Sharks return to full strength. Callum Boyd's back. Callum Boyd looks to make a hit on Yokoyama. Yokoyama does well. Pulls a nice wee move. Avoids him. Flashes it round the boards.
Lewis Houston throwing his weight around all 6 stone of it.
And that's soaking wet, is it not? It's the Sharks that have it in their own defensive zone. Bentham plays it round the boards back to Christian Johnson. Steady as always, Christian, since he's returned. Good to see him back, as is obviously Craner. And it's the Sharks that come forward through McBean. McBean, nice little move, just rounds his man as if he's not there.
Do it.
McBean still has it, he stops up. Nottingham, I think, know what's coming there, but he plays it off to...
Done against them in Nottingham, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Lewis Houston has it on the blue line, D's up with Christian Johnson. Flashed on nets, gloved save and cleared at the second attempt by the Lions. 20 seconds left on the man advantage for the Shark. Christian Johnson under pressure by Yokoyama, but does really nothing. Nice play by Bentham, drops the pass back to Christian Johnson, who finds Boyd, who gains his own. Nice move, drops it off to Bentham, back to Boyd. Nice play by the Sharks. Boyd still has it. Boyd's under pressure from Yokoyama, back to Christian Johnson, back to...
Full strength.
Yeah, Nottingham return to full strength. They look for the quick move, they can't quite pull it off. Sharks will just dump it into the zone. Gappa, it's cleared. Bentham will get there first for the Sharks, under pressure from 2 of them, dumps it through neutral ice. Nice play. Scott Henderson does well, just plays it
Boyd
down, yeah. Drops it off to Boyd, and Scott Henderson gains the zone, but it'll be picked off by the Lions under pressure from Gappa. Gappa does well, dispossesses his man. Gappa, nice move through the legs. Gappa in deep, has it, looks for it in front. Nottingham clear it only as far as Kerr on the blue line. Kerr skates in, fires it through bodies. It hits a combination of Boyd and Cleves.
Sharks fans making huge noise just now.
Comes back to Kerr. There's a push in front on Callum Boyd, but Gappa has it, plays Boyd down low. Nice defensive move to lift the stick of Boyd in the blue paint. Boyd's getting cross-checked by Yokoyama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's going to go.
Yeah, 6, 7. There's another one. Yokoyama's heading to the bench. There's an 8th. There's a 9th. There's a 10th.
Penalty in the Sharks.
There's an 11th.
Yokoyama and Gappa's even getting involved with Yokoyama.
I think there should be 2 penalties, 3 penalties, 4 penalties. Once against Yokoyama there.
He knew the penalty was coming and he just kept making the same mistake.
More than one there, surely.
Having a smile as he comes off.
Yeah, getting booed by the Sharks fans, goading it, looking at him, look at his hair, lovely hair flick, wow.
Get the helmet off of the camera.
Such a beautiful, beautiful hair flick.
It's only 2 minutes, mate.
I think he's lucky to avoid because there was at least 10 cross-checks there. He just places his stick on the top of Boyd's shots and just keeps going and keeps digging and keeps digging.
I bet he was looking for a reaction from
Boyd,
and Boyd kept his stick on the ice.
Fair play to Callum Boyd, because we've seen Callum Boyd react a few times in that situation.
But the Lions kind of win with Yokoyama in the box. It's just... Here's Johnny.
Yeah, Sharks win the face-off and it's Lewis Houston has it now. Lewis Houston looks for his options, finds Bentham on the blue. Big golf swing from Bentham, it comes off sticks in front and it's wide, but Lewis Young does well, keeps it in the zone for the Sharks. Nice pass towards Lewis Young. McBean's at the back door.
Chance here.
McBean still skates in front, does well, rounds the man, turns on a 50 pence piece. McBean back to Toner, Toner hard. Big blocker saved by Sheldon in the net of the Lions, but it's the Sharks that still have it. Lewis Houston. Lewis Houston finds Richard Bentham. Bentham can't quite control. Sharks will have to come back. But as quick as it came out, it's back in the zone from the Sharks. This young, fast skating line for the Sharks. Lewis Young, Johnny McBean and Lewis Houston. But Nottingham do well to come away with that one. Bentham, using his experience, gets the puck first, reads the play, picks it off, keeps Sharks in the zone, and it's Bentham has it back. Bentham, nice play, Basso, great defensive work by the Lions. Done extremely well, but again, it's Bentham just reads that play so well. Bentham has it now, skates in front, it's off a stick. Bentham bumps his man into the boards, and Sharks will pick it up through McBean. McBean pulls a lovely move, skates away from his man, finds to Lewis Young. Lewis Young through the face-off circles, plays it down to Lewis Houston, gets a shot on net, is blocked, not much power behind it, but it's a Sharks still in the zone.
30 seconds on the penalty.
Yeah, and probably about 1 minute and 25 of them seconds have been inside the zone. Struan Toner now skates forward, he's under
Houston.
No pressure. Houston back goal. Lewis Houston finds the back of the net.
Lovely goal.
Yeah, lovely goal. Lucas Sheldon feels like he's squeezed tight to the post, but Lewis Houston finds a postage stamp, gets it through, and it gives Sharks a 5th goal of the evening.
That was brilliant play with the Sharks. Miles Keogh saved a certain goal just
great,
seconds before.
Great play by Keogh.
As you said, Sheldon had the tight against the post, but there was just a little gap above his wrist, a tiny, tiny gap. And Lewis Young found it.
Lewis Houston found it.
Sorry, Lewis Houston found it.
That's what's confusing me too. Lewis is in the same line. I think we need to change the lines up.
Both of them dynamite tonight as well.
Yeah, they're
5-1
both
Solway.
playing well, and Sharks with a 5-1 lead as Nottingham win the face-off and come forward now through. Berezevsky fires it towards Wall, who can only flash his shot well wide, didn't trouble Hepburn. The Sharks will come forward, kicked into the zone, so Nottingham will have to clear the zone and come again. Sharks through Stuart Kerr. Stuart Kerr's picked off well actually at neutral ice, but the Sharks do well to battle back, take it off of Oaksley. Good pass there by Stuart Kerr, finds Gordon Horn. Finn Page now at speed through defensive zone, through neutral ice, gains the zone. Unbelievable transition from Finn Page there for the Sharks. Finn Page does extremely well for the Sharks there, and as Gordon Horn plays it down towards Rory Lockerbie. Lockerbie finds Murray. Murray's bumped, but Gordon Horn gets there first and finds the pass back to Murray. Murray looks for the pass, finds Kerr. Kerr skating back towards his own defensive zone, but fires it round the boards and it's picked up by Rory Lockerbie. Back to Murray in front. Murray looks for the pass across the zone towards Gordon Horn, but they intercept and Nottingham come forward. They send it down the ice. Icing is waved off. Kerr's hit hard into the boards. That's going to be a penalty, surely, against the Nottingham man as Sharks head off.
Penalty.
Late penalty on number 94. It was a late hit on to Stuart Kerr, and the Sharks have 6 men on the ice. It's touched up by Thomas, and the Nottingham number 94, Robert Oxley, will head to the penalty box.
It's the Lions that seem to be losing a wee bit more discipline in the second period. It's more the Sharks the first, but they're in the penalty box a lot just now, and the Sharks can be deadly.
Yeah, Sharks are dangerous short-handed, Sharks are dangerous even strength, and Sharks are
really,
even more
really
dangerous on the power play. Yeah, as the 2-minute penalty for Bowden goes up, Sharks have possession through the face-off, win it, and it's down low to Connor Henderson. Connor Henderson, nice pass towards Gappa. Gappa, Scott Henderson, good save. Great save by Sheldon. The close range shot from Scott Henderson blocked, and Nottingham clear. Nottingham will come forward through Yokoyama's. Good play by Scott Henderson, just dispossess him of the puck. Callum Hepburn will come out and play another one. Nice play by Hepburn, plays it into Peter Gappa. Gappa does well to control it. It was an awkward height for him, but he gloves it down, drops it, and Sharks will come again. Yokoyama breaks up the play, deflects the puck high into the Lions bench.
Yokoyama did well there, just disrupting the Sharks build-up.
Yeah, he did.
Much as he has been far from a fan's favourite this game, he's done well there.
Yokoyama in the face-off circle, seems to be double shifting as a forward and as a defenceman for the Lions at the minute. Loses out to McBean, good face-off win by Johnny McBean for the Sharks, finds Stuart Kerr. Stuart Kerr will build this play, minute 10 left to go on the power play. Lovely move by Stuart Kerr, drops it off to Lewis Houston.
I'd like to see him take it on a wee bit longer, wouldn't you?
Finds Callum Boyd. Callum Boyd plays a nice pass to McBean. To Kerr on the blue, Kerr fires through bodies, it's gloved down. by Sheldon in the Lions' net, and it will be a face-off in the defensive zone. Yeah, Stuart Kerr, lovely little move out his own defensive zone. Nice wee move through neutral ice to go by the couple of Lions players and dropped it off. Wonder what would have happened if he went on his own. Sharks that win the face-off. Christian Johnson has it now. Finds Kerr on the blue. Nice work by Kerr, does well to lose his man. Finds the pass to McBean. McBean finds Lewis Houston on the far side. Lewis Houston back to McBean. Callum Boyd just parking himself in front of the net again. He's tied up with Cleaves. Stuart Kerr. Christian Johnson flashed it across the blue. It's tipped by Lewis Houston, but not close enough to the net. Yokoyama does well to disrupt the play, but doesn't chase his own puck. Yokoyama tangles up with Johnny McBean. Look for the stretch pass. The Sharks, but it's picked off by the Lions, but Sharks do well to keep it in the zone through Christian Johnston. But it's the Lions will come forward.
Well,
yeah, Yokoyama's went offside. Yeah, it was Kieran Gibbs carrying the puck. Yokoyama just couldn't stop up. Tried everything he could, even fell to the ice to kind of slide and try and pick his toe on the line, but it was just offside with 9 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Sharks. Face off in neutral ice.
Lions didn't even contest the face-off.
Yeah, Sharks, nice play by the Sharks. Tell you what, they could have looked a wee bit daft there if the Sharks had scored on that one.
You've never seen a face-off like it. The puck that dropped and Nottingham just backed away from it.
Yeah, it comes straight to Peter Gappa. Gappa fired the shot. It was a big deflection. Scott Henderson got there first for the Sharks and flicked it into the logo of Lucas Sheldon. It could have looked very foolish as the Lions returned to full strength. Sharks in possession though. That Toner throws a shot on net. It's deflected wide, but Scott Henderson will pick it up. Plays it towards Connor Henderson, backhanded. Nice move. Connor Henderson skates through a couple of bodies. Lions do enough to lift his stick, but it's a Sharks. Pass. Yeah, but not the best pass from Connor Henderson. But Sharks will tidy it up through captain Struan Toner. Backhanded to Danskin. Danskin pulls a nice wee move to escape his man. It was Croston who rounds and Gappa comes forward for the Sharks. At speed, Gappa, nice move. Gappa, just wide off the post. Nice forehand, backhand move, puts it wide of the post. Lions will look to clear it around the boards and they will come away with it now through number 28, Kieran Gibbs. Kieran Gibbs will dump it in the zone. He'll chase after his own pass. He'll get there first just, but it's tidied up well by Struan Toner for the Sharks. Toner now through neutral ice. Toner gains his own, rounds his man straight through the middle. And Sheldon has to come out and cover that one over.
Gappa's been outstanding in this game.
Yeah, Gappa's been really good tonight.
I know there's a lot of debate about who the best import in the league is, but there's absolutely no debate in my mind. Gappa is by far the best import.
By a country mile, yeah, by a country mile. I'd like to see what Gappa's numbers would have been if he'd joined us in early September.
Yeah, I think he's about third top point scorer and he's played only about 17, 18
games
or something.
Only joined us mid-November, didn't he? Yeah. And it's the Lions have possession through Wall. Can only find Lockerbie in a white jersey though, but it's tied up on the boards. Yokoyama's in there. Sharks digging away at it, trying to get out. Yokoyama comes away with it, does well. Chance at 2-on-1. Yokoyama goes himself. Nice move, great save by Callum Hepburn. Yokoyama done well to round his man. He lays the pass towards Berezovsky at the back door. Callum Hepburn covers the blue paint well, covers his goal and saves what looked a certain goal.
Berezovsky, we want that back again. He just didn't connect with it right at all, but Hepburn was brilliant.
It was almost as if Hepburn knew it was coming, read the play well. Sharks win the face-off and will come forward now. Loose pass from Christian Johnston, does well. A couple of Sharks bodies do well there just to defend it, clear the zone. Gordon Horn chasing his own pockets, tied up in the feet of the linesman. Ross Murray's in there. Ross Murray digging it along the boards and his skate blades. Yokoyama. Bentham does well for the Sharks. Poke it clear, finds Gordon Horn, he finds Lockerbie. Lockerbie will round his man. Knocked to the ice. Lockerbie still has it for the Sharks, so he's pushed into the boards. Hit after the puck's gone. And it's Nottingham have possession. Nice play by Lockerbie.
Offside.
Yeah. Gordon Horn wasn't out of the zone. Ross Murray headed in at the other side. Didn't realise he hadn't cleared it. That'll be a face-off and neutralised. 6 minutes, 31 seconds to go. Solway Sharks 5, Nottingham Lions 1.
Been a bit even in the last couple of minutes, Owen, just before the Sharks scored that brilliant goal. They were totally dominant, but not quite so dominant just now.
Yeah, not quite. But I think Martin's probably happier with this period than he was the first, definitely.
Less penalties for a start.
Yeah, and more goals. As the Sharks have it in their own defensive zone, Kerr and Page combining towards Callum Boyd, drops in his own defensive zone. Boyd pulls a nice wee move, gets away from 2 guys, does well, does Callum Boyd. Big slash there, but Boyd still has it, he's tripped. And the Sharks have possession of the puck.
Why was that not a delayed penalty? Whistle went so quick.
Yeah, the Lion literally just...
McBean had the puck.
The Lions man literally just clipped the puck the tiniest little bit. As Nottingham Lions, number 25, Owen Davis heads for a 2-minute trip and call on Callum Boyd. Yeah,
that was down to the speed of Callum Boyd though.
Yeah, it was. Great wee move by Callum Boyd. Owen Davis not too happy as he skates into the penalty box, smashes his stick off the boards. Not a happy bunny, that's for sure. But the Sharks are back on the power play, 6:10 to go. Johnny McBean in for the face-off up against Yokoyama. And it's won by McBean, but clear
the zone.
Yeah, clear the zone. Toner will have to retreat into his own defensive zone towards Kerr. Kerr drops it back to McBean. McBean just stuck in a defensive position to start a play, finds Callum Boyd on the blue. Boyd sends it round the boards at speed and it'll be picked off by Lewis Houston for the Sharks. He's under pressure from Yokoyama, it's tied up in feet. He does well to find McBean, he finds Kerr. Kerr turns his man nicely to McBean. McBean, nice move. Crossbar!
That's the crossbar.
Second time tonight the Sharks have rung the post or the crossbar, but it's the Sharks still in possession in their own defensive zone. Yokoyama will try and clear now round the board straight to where the captain is standing. Toner, big shot from the point, flicks off her feet high into the net and the far side garage corner as we look.
Toner having another word with Yokoyama again, exchanging pleasantries. There's still going to be more penalties in this game. That's my easy prediction to make. And Yokoyama's going to be involved in a lot of them.
And do you know what makes tomorrow exciting as well? Because there's still that needle in tomorrow's game, but it's the Sharks that have it through Gappa. Gappa fires straight into the catcher of Lucas Sheldon. Good save.
What's your thoughts on a 7:15 face-off in Nottingham? Is that a wee bit late?
Second time we've had it this season, yeah. I know, speaking to people from Billingham as well, they had the same last week when they were there.
Yeah, but getting to Billingham from Nottingham's a bit quicker. I mean, the guys are going to get back about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was still 2 o'clock in the morning for Billingham, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not ideal, but I think it's all down to ice time that the junior teams and all these hold, so it's too late for the juniors to play and what have you. So
but you're not going to get many away fans at that face-off time?
Definitely not, especially not when it's live on YouTube. I'll be tuning in at home with hopefully a Chinese and a couple of beers and watch that one for the comfort of my own sofa. And it's Sharks on the attack again. Connor Henderson now has it. Connor Henderson plays it down low. Nice play. Goal! Scott Henderson links up well with Peter Gappa. Sharks benefit on the power play.
Absolute snipe,
add a sixth. Scott Henderson in acres of space on the edge of the face-off circle. And again, fires high past Sheldon. Is that maybe the issue? We're having a smaller goaltender. Obviously, we look at Callum at the far end standing at 6'4". You look at Lucas Sheldon, he stands just head and shoulders above the crossbar compared to Callum Hepburn, who's elbow height above the crossbar. Does a taller goalie save that one, do you think?
Maybe. I mean, I keep thinking Callum's got to face these players in practice all the time. I mean, it's quality forwards the Sharks have got. It doesn't matter where you look, they can finish. Yeah. And I don't think anybody would have stopped that one from Scott. It was a cracking goal.
They certainly can. It's Sharks on the attack again, quick into the zone. Christian Johnson fires it on net. It's tied up in front. Scott Crane just parking himself in front of the net. As Ross Murray has it, he's picked off well by Thomas. Plays it round the boards. Nottingham have it through Yokoyama. Yokoyama gains the zone, but it's good defensive play.
Brilliant defence.
Yeah, Sharks can't quite clear the zone though. Ross Murray puts a hit in on his man. Scott Crane will be racing up for this one. Scott Crane puts a hit in on his man. Big hit from the Crane train. As the Lions clear it round the half wall, and
Thomas felt that one.
Yeah, he definitely would. Definitely would. Crane's a big unit of a man, and the Sharks have gained the zone through Christian Johnston. Does well to get away from Yokoyama, who loses an edge. Gordon Horn has Christian Johnston again, fires through bodies, comes off shin pads. Gordon Horn skating in, but dispossessed. Yokoyama can only flash it as far as Christian Johnston in neutral ice, finds Ross Murray. Ross Murray will dump it in round the boards, chase his own puck, put his man under pressure, but he does enough to clear it. Backhanded, big hit by Bentham. That's why you keep your head up, young children that are watching this game. Great hit by Bentham, the young Nottingham player, head down trying to control the puck. He felt the full force of that one from Bentham, and great move there by Liam Danskin to again avoid the hit of Zach Yokoyama. Sharks have it now through Struan Toner.
That was better than a goal, Lynn.
Yeah, it was. Lovely hit by Bentham. If you're watching the highlights back as a youngster, that's probably the prime example of keep your head up. Sharks have it through Jonathan McBean. Liam Danskin now will come back to that point on the hit I was just about to make. Liam Danskin down low finds Lewis Houston. Lewis Houston back to Struan Toner. Struan Toner skates the blue. Looks for the pass towards Liam Danskin at the back door. Liam Danskin acting as a forward. Well, Lewis Young keeps in the zone. Jonathan McBean.
Lions are starting to look really, really tired.
Yeah, McBean finds a backhand pass to Danskin. Danskin down low. Toner can't quite control. Toner's tied up in the boards but finds Lewis Houston. Lewis Houston does well to skate away from Grimshaw. Lewis Houston back to McBean at the point. Back to Houston. Houston. His man was wrong side. It's Houston that still has the puck. Tries for the pass down low. Struan Toner gets it back to Danskin on the blue, lays it off to McBean. Sharks just building here, patient play from the Sharks. Pass. Back to Toner. Toner at the back door, high, spilled by Sheldon in the Lions' net, but the Lions will clear it.
Sharks looking just brilliant at times.
Sharks dominating that one there, and it's the Sharks will build an attack again. McBean at speed, McBean one-on-one, tight angle, nice pass. It's just over. Great bit of play from the Sharks. Lovely tic-tac-toe move. Jonathan McBean rounds his man wonderfully, drops it off to Lewis Young, and it's deflected high over the crossbar of Sheldon for a face-off. And as we were saying, Andy, that hit by Bentham was brilliant, but a great lesson for the kids. That's why you keep your head up when you're skating through neutral ice, but also a bit of a lesson for the kids on how to make a hit in centre ice as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly... It's just a textbook hit. But Johnny McBean there, what a move. Lovely little reverse pass. Sharks. Smiling away. Fantastic. Sharks
win the face-off, but only goes to a Lions player under pressure from Connor Henderson. Good work to tie his man up. Gappa has it now for the Sharks round the boards. Gappa back to Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson fires, glove down. Connor Henderson can't quite convert. It's Scott Henderson putting pressure on. Lions do well to come away with it though. Wall will just dump it round the boards. Kerr will get there first for the Sharks. Lions certainly look leggy, they look ready for the end of this period.
Yep, they do.
But good work by Marples to keep it in the zone, but he's under pressure straight away from Kerr, who steals it back, plays it round the boards.
There's not much pressure up front for the Lions just now.
Yeah, no, Scott Henderson now gains his own for the Sharks. Rounds his man, Scott Henderson still has it, rounds the net. Scott Henderson still has it, drops it around the boards towards Connor Henderson. Gappa will pick it up for the Sharks. Nice move, Finn Page. Finn Page backhanded, flashes it around the back of the boards. Another strange bounce in that far side corner, and Nottingham will clear.
30 odd seconds to go.
Yeah, look to build a play. Walls gets it in neutral ice. Benefits from a poor control there from Scott Henderson, but Gappa does well.
Pass.
Dispossessed, Scott Henderson in front. Nice move by Scott. He looks to find the pass back to Gappa, but it was tied up well by the Lions defenceman. Scott Henderson again gloves it down nicely in the zone, keeps the puck in. Connor Henderson will flick it over. Nice move by Gappa. Gappa has it now in behind the net. Back to Connor Henderson. Connor Henderson back to Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson save. Nice save from Sheldon in the net as the seconds run down, and that will just about do us. Yeah, Sharks are just constant. I think the Lions are very. I think the Lions are very happy to hear that buzzer go off at the end of period 2 action. Solway Sharks leading the Nottingham Lions 6 goals to 1. Up the work rate of that second period. I imagine Martin wasn't too impressed with how the first period went.
Lions looked knackered by the end of it.
So we are off again. Sharks win the face-off and gain the zone. Gordon Horn will get there first for the Sharks. Gordon Horn skates it behind the Lions net, turns up, heads back to where he came from, still in possession of the puck. Nice pass to Boyd in front. Boyd flicks it high over the net, clips the top of the plexi and into the netting above the plexi. Face-off, of course. A new ruling actually, Andy. It was Lisa Calvert messaged me a couple of weeks ago telling me that even when it goes directly out, the face-off still stays in the zone, which was a bit of an interesting one. But the Sharks have it through Finn Page in his own defensive zone, stops up behind Hepburn and comes out, plays the pass to Murray. Murray's dispossessed, but Gordon Horn's right behind him. Gordon Horn skating through on net, gets a shot away, but it's deflected well wide. Boyd finds the pass towards Horn, but it's picked off by the Lions, who will build an attack through Fisher. Fisher does well to get round Kerr, flashes a shot on Hepburn. Hepburn does enough to keep it out, and the Sharks will just about clear the zone. Kerr has it, second attempt to clear it. Ross Murray will be put under pressure from Grimshaw. Ross Murray for the Sharks settles things down and finds Stuart Kerr. Stuart Kerr, nice pass towards Finn Page. He's under pressure though from Yokoyama, but Page does well, controls, rounds his man. Yokoyama skates across the blue paint. Hepburn gets rather close to Hepburn, but it's the Sharks that'll clear it through Ross Murray. That will just be flicked up the ice, and that will go for icing.
Finn Page had a kind of strange body shape. It looked like he should have taken the pass on his backhand, but tried to flip it round on his forehand, and Sharks put themselves under a wee bit of pressure.
Yeah, maybe a bit unnecessary, but
it's been a quieter start than the whole of the second period.
Yeah, it certainly has. I think things were always going to kind of settle down a wee bit. Nottingham, probably 15 minutes of rest, and it's probably doing them the world of good there, and they'll come back out for this third period. Unfortunately, playing a team as dominant as the Sharks, it will take it out of you, and the Sharks come forward through Callum Boyd. Looks for Ross Murray. Callum Boyd will have to turn back towards his own defensive zone because Murray had skated offside, but a lovely move by Callum Boyd.
And a nice, smart enough to realise that Murray was offside. Brilliant play.
Offside, yeah. Ross Murray kind of got tied up there with Grimshaw in 96 for the Lions. Grimshaw lost a glove in the process, skated into the zone to pick up his glove before the puck had went in, and the Lions man went offside. So both teams head off for a line change, and we'll have a face-off in neutral ice. That's won by Scott Henderson for the Sharks. Bentham finds CJ, finds Gappa against his zone. Scott Henderson back to Gappa at the back door. Gappa can't quite redirect into the back of the net. Good opportunity for the Sharks. Pretty goal, but Sharks still have it. Connor Henderson will flash it through bodies. It's gloved down by Kieran Gibbs. Lions will just clear into neutral ice. It'll be kept in by, dumped into the zone, sorry, by Christian Johnson, and Gappa will chase, but the Lions will come away. They have it now through Oxley's under pressure, and Gappa has it for the Sharks, finds Bentham on the blue. Bentham to Christian Johnston. Johnson skates in through the face-off circle, fires straight at Sheldon in the Lions net.
Not be putting any pressure on the puck handler at all.
But Nottingham will come forward now through number 28, Kieran Gibbs. Does well to round Bentham, but it's forced wide. Bentham bumps his man into the boards, and it's tidied up by Scott Henderson. Finds Connor Henderson. Sharks look to move this one quick. They've got a chance of 2-on-3. Gappa joining in, but it's tipped clear by Thomas. Gappa puts his man under pressure. The Lions just offside ever so slightly again. We'll have a face-off in neutral ice. 17-11 to play in this third period. Sharks 6 goals to the good.
I'm hoping this period's not going to peter out like it sometimes happens when the Sharks are so dominant. I think, I know it's unlikely the Lions are going to turn over a 5-goal deficit tomorrow, but I'd still like to see the Sharks keep the foot to the floor, as it were, Owen.
Yeah, the more goals you go with, the more comfortable it is tomorrow, I suppose, and the more relaxed the boys can be. But obviously, Martin Grubb's mantra always is, it's never, well, we'll settle on our laurels and we'll be happy with that. He'll want to go and win another game of hockey tomorrow night down in Nottingham.
For sure.
But it's the Sharks have it at behind Sheldon's net through Lewis Young. Lewis Young, nice pass to McBean, a nice move by McBean to gain possession of the puck, throws it backhanded, but there's not a white jersey there. It'll clear the zone. Danskin picks up in neutral ice and finds Struan Toner, the Sharks captain. Danskin has it again now. Looks back to Toner. Toner lets it bounce off the boards, controls, and just dumps it along the boards. Thomas will get their first place at backhanded, but it's picked off by McBean. McBean, nice pass across the front of the blue paint towards Lewis Young, but it's cleared by Lyons. Come forward now. They flash it straight on net. Hepburn has to deal with it. He lets it bounce off him a little bit and it'll be picked up by Struan Toner. Toner for the Sharks is under pressure from Yokoyama. But he does well, finds Danskin. Danskin does well to find McBean. Nice move by McBean in his own defensive zone just to skate away from the Lions man. Dumps it high through the speakers at Dumfries Ice Bowl. Sheldon gloves it down, controls it well. No, finds his defensive partner, finds a nice stretch pass the length of the ice towards Kieran Gibbs, but Sharks come forward through Gordon Horn. Gordon Horn sends it on net, tries to catch Sheldon unawares. He makes a save, but Boyd picks it up for the Sharks. Callum Boyd still has it. Skates round the whole team, drops it off to Finn Page. Nice move. Low shot by Page and a big kick save, but Murray will pick it up for the Sharks. Looks to play it towards Gordon Horn it was, but it deflects off a Lions player and back to Murray. They'll only clear it round the board, so you get the luck of the bounce off the plexi there. Tied up in the feet of Ross Murray, but as Nottingham will come forward through Kieran Gibbs. Seems like he's been on the whole of the last 5 minutes of the start of this period. Kieran Gibbs been everywhere. Dumps it in the zone. Hepburn stops it up, takes the pace out of it, and it's picked up by Kerr. Kerr plays it to Boyd. Boyd looks to lay it off a bit too casually. Gets tied up in the Lions man's feet. Jack Croston has it, he's dispossessed by Kerr. Gordon Horn, nice pass towards Callum Boyd. Boyd's not quite got the legs, but he'll put his man under pressure. He can only dump it into the neutral ice and it'll be picked up by Kerr.
Poor. It's Crofts, I think.
Yeah, Billy Crofts went after Callum Boyd.
He was talking the talk at the end of the second, and he deliberately targeted Boyd there.
Billy Crofts went after Callum Boyd.
Really poor. Trying to get a skillful man out of the game there.
Yeah. Yeah, Boyd is saying, you jumped me, you jumped me.
Really poor.
Very poor from Billy Crofts. I think he should be out of the game for that.
Cheap shot.
Boyd's getting put into the box for it. His gloves aren't off.
Boyd couldn't have done anything about it.
Crofts got to be out of the game for that, surely.
It was a terrible stuff.
Yeah, terrible from Crofts.
Jump Boyd, targeted the man. Quite rightly getting kicked out of the game.
Yeah, bye-bye, Mr. Crofts.
Poor show.
Yeah, unprofessional.
Let his team down there. Let his teammates down, and I know there's a couple of folk tapping the sticks. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
He was trying to talk the talk at the end of the second going.
Yeah, he certainly was, as Callum Hepburn and Lucas Sheldon are playing a wee bit of passy between each other.
Yeah, they're trying to score through each other.
The goalkeepers union, the netminders union, just flicking the puck through neutral line. Now just trying to decide where the face-off goes as well.
Yeah, because it was off the puck. I mean, it was nowhere near. It was.
Yeah, I followed the puck. I didn't see what had happened.
It was a cheap shot. Cheap shot.
We'll have a wee listen, see what the official calls on the play.
Yeah, I'll try and get this one for you folks. A lot of discussion about this one. Discussions are over, we're just trying to talk to the teams now, and then Brian McMeekin in the booth down the stairs with a few folk. Lynn and Mo in there.
Yeah, number 11 it is. Jack Croston coming across, of course, to set the 5-minute penalty.
So 4-on-4 for 2 minutes.
4-on-4 for 2 minutes, then a man advantage for the Sharks. 4-3. Sharks win the face-off through Scott Henderson. Stuart Kerr has it on the blue line, plays it off to Gappa. Gappa has it now for the Sharks, settles things down, looks for the pass towards Kerr. It's tipped off well by Grimshaw in the centre ice. Kerr, brilliant move by Stuart Kerr, turns his man inside out.
Beat two
Yokoyama and Gappa having conversations.
Yokoyama shoved Gappa over the blue line to put him offside.
Right, okay.
So Gappa couldn't get pushed into the zone.
Yeah, Gappa's getting a 2 minute for cross-checking here.
That's a poor call as well. And Yokoyama skating away, trying to hide for everyone. So it's things that tempers are getting frayed. often you see Gappa in the penalty box at all.
No, Bentham's offering Yokoyama.
So 4-on-3 to the Lions. Away again, Sharks cleared on the ice. No icing, of course. Owen's just trying to hear what's happening in the...
Yeah, there's a 5+ game. I heard that one.
That was for...
Didn't hear what's been called on Boyd. I'm going to lift my headphone off, Andy. I'll let you call in the next couple of minutes.
So Lions have possession just now in their own zone. They're 4-on-3. Scotty Henderson dispossesses, and Sharks have it 3-man in their own zone just now, behind their own goal line. With Bentham just trying to kill this penalty for the next minute or so. We've got a minute left in the Sharks' first penalty in 1:19, but here comes Scott Henderson down the right hand side. Scotty gets to the goal line, goes into the corner, takes a turn just to kill the clock. Plays it all the way back to the direction of Christian Johnson. Sharks have possession. Lions on the power play, probably haven't touched the puck in the last 20-30 seconds. Back to you, Owen.
Didn't hear what the call was on Boyd. Heard 2 minutes cross-checking on Gappa. It must have been called before I lifted my headphone off, but it's Nottingham in possession in their own defensive zone. They'll come forward now through number 28 as Kieran Gibbs. Kieran Gibbs does well around Gordon Horn and neutral ice, gains his own, but can only ping it round the boards towards Christian Johnson, who is under pressure from Cleves. Johnson does well, clears the length of the ice. Sheldon will come out, stop that one up. Good penalty kill so far from the Sharks. That'll be Kieran Gibbs will pick it up for the Lions. Kieran Gibbs again at speed.
5 seconds left in the Boyd penalty.
Flicks it on net. Hepburn saves well. Sharks clear the length of the ice just as they return to 4 skaters, and in 10 seconds or so they will return to 5 skaters and have Sharks have it now. Danskin does well, reads the play, drops it off to Gordon Horn. Nice move by Horn to keep it in the zone. Gordon Horn finds Danskin again. Great play by the Sharks. 3 seconds to go.
Gappa's out.
Yeah, Sharks are back to full strength. Gappa's off to get involved in the play. Liam Danskin has it on the blue. Shot on net, nice save by Sheldon. Flashes the leather, that one covers it over, and it'll be a face-off inside the zone.
.231 left in the Lions major. Sharks with the man advantage now.
Sharks win the face-off through Scott Henderson to McBean. Stuart Kerr now finds Bentham. Bentham through bodies, fired straight into the logo of Sheldon. Covers over.
Joel got a wee bit though.
Yeah, he did. Sharks win the face-off. It's tied up on the boards. McBean has it, battling in there for the Sharks up against Davis as Sharks come away. Scott Henderson high over.
Gapper still not happy about the call that he got. He's trying to exploit it. Daniel
he's asking the question.
It was a poor call.
Scott Henderson again in the face-off circle for the Sharks. Wins it again. Finds McBean, who finds Bentham. Bentham back to Scott Henderson. Finds Kerr. Kerr through bodies. Big deflected save from Sheldon. Gappa sends his man into the boards. Nice move by Gappa and comes away with the puck. Finds Bentham. Bentham shoots first time just wide of the target, but Scott Henderson will get there for the Sharks. Scott Henderson looks up the boards, finds Bentham. Bentham finds Kerr. Kerr does well to control bobble and puck, finds McBean. McBean now towards Bentham at the back door. It comes off a skate blade back to McBean. McBean back to Kerr. Kerr to Bentham. Back to Kerr. Kerr, McBean, first time. Misses completely the puck there, and Gappa will pick it up for the Sharks in front, banks it off the back of the net.
Gappa's in the mood now.
Yeah, Bentham has it for the Sharks. Skates back towards his blue, lays it off to Kerr. Kerr will play it back to Bentham, back to Kerr. They're just looking for a shot here through bodies. Kerr down low to McBean. Controls with a stick, but it'll come clear. Grimshaw clear the length of the ice. Hepburn juggles, has to save it. Stops up in his blue paint, finds a stretch pass to McBean.
Going to gap of it.
Yeah,
McBean's got it.
McBean's controlled it. McBean now stops up, drops it off to Gapper. Gapper, backdoor, nice, Struan Toner.
Oh.
Big save by Sheldon, deflects out. Only as far as Gappa in a white jersey for the Sharks. Gappa still has it, finds McBean at the back post.
Sure.
McBean, goal! Great finish, Johnny McBean, a 7th for the Sharks. With 10 minutes, 19 seconds left to play in this third period, Sharks add a 7th. Patient on the power play from the Sharks. McBean finds himself in space and finds the postage stamp of that top corner beautifully.
Lovely goal, that. Lovely goal.
And of course, the Sharks still on the man advantage. The 5-minute penalty. Obviously, you don't come out early on a goal being scored. So, with 42 seconds left on the clock, Lions have called their time out.
Start of the second, Lions would have been trying to get down to four goals. Would have been okay for them taking it back home.
Yep.
Still in with a slim chance, shall we put it like this, but 6 goals. You ain't going to beat the Sharks.
The Sharks are just asserting their dominance as this period goes on. I'm sure Martin Grubb's message to the players in this 30 seconds is go and add as many more as you can.
100%.
Be consistent, be the team that we know you can be. Let's finish this game tonight. Let's make tomorrow easy street.
Still 10 minutes to go. 10:19 left, 7-1 Solway, and 42 seconds left on the power play one.
Sharks win the face-off and Liam Danskin has it. Finds Struan Toner, drops it off to Connor Henderson. Connor Henderson at speed now. Connor Henderson looks for Lewis Young. Lewis Young does well, helps him out, and it's Toner on the point to Danskin. He'll touch it. He'll look for a shooting lane back to Toner. Toner fires just wide from Toner, stops up behind on the back of the net. Connor Henderson battling at it, does well to get it off the net. Comes away with it for the Sharks, finds Liam Danskin on the blue line. Danskin through bodies, fired, goal! Tipped in front, Lewis Houston. That's an 8 for the Sharks.
Yep.
And Martin Grubb's message of put this game to bed is certainly paying off. The Sharks up by 8, 7-goal advantage, still 9:44 left to go in this third period. And Andy, I think your prediction of double figures could come very true here.
I think there's a common thing with the Sharks this year. Short-handed, they're dangerous as anything. And when they score, they can often score 2 or 3 in very quick succession.
We've seen them score in clusters, absolutely. 8 seconds, Lions will return to full strength, but it's the Sharks again coming forward.
I have to say, after the poor, cheap shot by number 95, I think that's the least the Lions deserve for that, is to lose 2 goals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sharks have it now through Danskin in his own defensive zone. Play it up through the middle. Callum Boyd does well to control, finds Gordon Horn, who gains his own, kind of gets tied up in the feet of Victoria Luke on the far side, but it's Callum Boyd in possession for the Sharks, takes a bump into the boards, but still has the puck. Gordon Horn looks for the pass, but it's picked off by the Lions, and the Lions will come forward now. Struan Toner just tidies things up as he's done all night for the Sharks, looks to make a play, but he's dispossessed, but he wins it back just as quick for the Sharks. It's kind of tied up and a bit scrappy in bodies. Lions will come away with it. Gordon Horn ties his man up again. Struan Toner's in there, just breaking things up, and comes out with the puck for the Sharks. Bentham now looks for the pass to Boyd. Boyd will gain his own. Boyd, Murray's racing through. Murray's in front. Great play, but Boyd can't quite finish. Boyd hits Yokoyama into the boards, and Nottingham come forward. Dumped in, can't quite control, and the Sharks will have it now. Sharks gain the zone through Murray on the far side. Murray pulls a mohawk, he's under pressure from Yokoyama. Murray doesn't like the hit from Yokoyama, but Murray will get the puck again for the Sharks through his legs to Boyd. Looks for Scott Henderson. Bentham does well, just again reads the play. Bentham's been fantastic tonight for the Sharks.
Brilliant.
dumps it cross ice towards Callum Boyd. Boyd just dumps it round the boards to Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson out in front. Scott Henderson, nice move. Callum Boyd again is tied up in bodies, and they are making a nuisance of himself, and Gappa put his man under pressure. Nice play by Gappa, dispossessive man of the puck. The man's holding on to his stick.
Stick got tangled up in his jersey. Really, not a lot either player could do there.
Christian Johnson fires a goal! Tipped in front by Gappa. Gappa adds a ninth.
That's his hat-trick.
Yeah, hat-trick goal for Gappa, a ninth for the Sharks. Nice play by Christian Johnson, I think it was, at the point. Fires it on net. Gappa gets a big tip. Sheldon in the net is already moving the other way and can do nothing about the massive deflection. Gappa adds a ninth. Gappa completes his hat-trick. And the Lions look down and out in this one now.
They look tired at the end of the second. They're looking really tired now. They've hardly been in the Sharks attacking zone at all in this period on.
Yeah, no, they've not. And the Sharks are just swarming. The Sharks are a team that smell blood in the water, and they are looking to add as many as they can tonight. That'll go for icing. It's sent up the boards by Stuart Kerr. Rory Lockerbie can't quite put a wee tip on it. Be brought back for icing. 7:17 left to go in this period. Solway Sharks 9, Nottingham Lions 1.
Yeah, message being sent to the rest of the league that, you know, if you're going to want our playoff title, you're going to have to prize it from our cold dead hands.
Yeah, that's it. Sharks just asserting their dominance as they've done so many times this season. Finn Page now skates out of defence. Lovely move to get away from Wall, and Finn Page at speed dumps it around his man. Lovely move by Page. To Lockerbie. Just wide by Lockerbie. What a play that would have been for the Sharks. Rory Lockerbie with the opportunity, but the Lions clear it into neutral ice. It's picked up by Kerr, finds Page again.
Some of the hockey game played on is just fantastic.
Sharks are playing nice stuff. Nice play by Gappa. Scott Henderson just out of his reach, does well to get there at the first attempt. He'll get it now though. Glove down by number 91 it is. It's Ethan Wilcox. His Lions come forward. Nice move from 94. It is Oxley, but he's dispossessed by Page.
Not another player in the Sharks half, far less the attacking zone.
Sharks will build. Rory Lockerbie's pulled to the ice, but Gappa picks it up now for the Sharks. Back to Lockerbie. Lockerbie looks for Toner. Toner skating in, fired. Big kick save by Sheldon. Toner does well.
Sheldon's faced 50 shots by now already, I'm convinced.
Surely McBean has it for the Sharks. McBean down low to Gappa. Gappa moves in front, plays it off of his own man, and Lockerbie. Lions will send that the length of the ice, and that will be icing. Sharks head off for a line change. Exactly 6 minutes left in this third period. Thank you everyone who is tuning in on Solway Sharks Radio live on Mix LR. For what is the last time this season, Andy, for us to bring live radio commentary of the Sharks.
But you're doing all this again next season. I might pop in every now and then for a wee guest appearance, but you're the man next year.
Welcome anytime. Sharks win the face-off. Danskin fires through bodies. McBean actually jumps out the way of it, and it's just wide of the net as the puck pops up between sticks and into the penalty box. And we'll have a face-off. Of course, this is what Lisa Calvert taught me the other week. It stays in the zone. It stays in the zone, so the Sharks will have a face-off inside the attacking zone. It'll be McBean in for the Sharks. Up against, I think it's Grimshaw. It's won by McBean, but he can only play it forward towards the line. It's stopped by Toner, can't quite control.
2-on-1.
Yeah, Lions have an opportunity here. Nice move, backdoor play, wide of the net. Hepburn sprawling across to try and make the save. Big hit by the crane train again in that far side corner, and Hepburn makes a save and a close range shot from Yokoyama.
Biggest chance that the Lions have had in the last 45-50 minutes.
Yeah.
And they blew it.
Yokoyama saying something to Callum Hepburn. He's pushed away by Liam Danskin.
Wouldn't have been like him, would it? I wonder if Yokoyama will be with the Lions next season.
Well,
this could be their last couple of games.
That's the thing. There was a lot of talk through the summer. Where would they play next year? It's the Sharks that win the face-off. And Scott Crane, like a train. Look at him go.
Oh, Scotty.
Scotty to Lewis Young. Lewis Young.
Save.
Still has it, Lewis Young. Yeah, great save by Sheldon. Deflects back to Young, and McBean has it now for the Sharks. Lewis Young is bumped in the back by Grimshaw, but keeps the puck, plays it round towards Scott Crane. Scott Crane does well to control, plays it back to Lewis Young. Lewis Young rounds the face-off circle, plays it to Danskin. Danskin to Toner. Where will it go? Toner back to Lewis Young. Lewis Young, nice move by Lewis Young. Nice bit of hands back to Toner in behind. Toner to Danskin on the blue. Plays it back to Toner. Toner will just skate the blue, dumps it back to Danskin. Nice move. Danskin does well, drops it off towards Lewis Young for the Sharks. He'll skate up, turn, finds McBean down low. McBean, nice hands, McBean's tripped. Not called, and it's a goal! The captain will add a 10th for the Sharks.
Johnny.
Lovely move by McBean.
Johnny made such a move, then got tripped.
And Struan Toner, the captain, who has tidied everything up at the opposite end of the ice tonight, tidies that one up in the attacking zone. Nottingham Lions, Tristan Grimshaw, not a happy bunny, snaps his stick over the crossbar or off the back of the goal and heads to the changing rooms with 4 minutes, 37 seconds to go. Solway Sharks 10 goals to 1 leaders against the Nottingham Lions, and Nottingham just seem to be imploding.
Yeah, this game's gone, and tomorrow night's game's gone. This is over, so this is the end of their season. They'll be looking to make a name somehow.
Nice move by Callum Boyd as he gains his own past Wilcox. Callum Boyd still has it for the Sharks. Plays it up towards Bentham, up the wall, back towards Boyd. Pretty much stayed where he passed it from. Look for the pass towards Murray. Murray does well to dispossess Wall.
Oh!
Murray adds another! Murray adds a Sharks 11th! And seems to sign some sort of contract in the process.
Different celebration. Jamie and Mark having a laugh over on the benches there. I don't know what that's about, but that's 11.
Sharks are in 11th heaven. It's not 7th heaven, Andy, it's 11th heaven.
Still a few minutes to go, Owen.
That's it, yeah, there's time here for the Sharks to put a few more past them. 16-1, of course, being the biggest win for the Sharks so far this season. Surely not.
I don't think so.
Bentham will pick it up in his own defensive zone for the Sharks. Clears it only as far as a Lions player, but Bentham gets it back. Finds Christian Johnston. Christian Johnston will come through at speed. He'll gain the zone. Nice work by Johnston. Flicks it towards the corner. Lewis Young now. Lewis Young finds Connor Henderson. Henderson in front. Looks for 5-hole. Sheldon does well just to cover that over just enough. Keeps it out.
Just the Lions just sitting back. 5-man defence. They're not even attempting to get out. They're just trying to stop this getting any worse than it already is, Owen.
Yeah, they are. Lions do well to win the face-off on the jump, but it's just come back in just as quick from the Sharks. Luke Thomas looks to actually head the puck, jumps and loses an edge as he falls back down. Look a wee bit daft, and the Sharks have it. Nice play, Connor Henderson linking up with Christian Johnston. Connor Henderson has it still for the Sharks, finds Lewis Young. Lewis Young tries to pull a move. It's in there somewhere. Sharks managed to dig it out just after the whistle goes, and 3 minutes 20 seconds left in the third period. Sharks 11 goals to 1 to the good.
There's some showboating going on, there really is.
There is, yeah, the Sharks are enjoying themselves here.
Everybody contributing, everybody playing at the top of their game just now.
Sharks win the face-off and Scott Henderson's tied up between two bodies and somehow still has the puck. Cleared now through Yokoyama, flicks it around the boards. Lions will look to clear at speed. They've got the high man. Nice play there. Finn Page keeps his eye on the puck, does well, ties up his man, takes him down to the ice, and the Sharks will clear. Good bit of play in the defensive zone by Finn Page there.
Quite like that.
The Lions still have it. Nice work by Stuart Kerr. Stuart Kerr takes the puck off his man. Lions can only dump it in. Page will pick it up. 2 minutes 45 seconds to go. Finn Page, nice move, turns his man. Takes a loose stick there, yeah, from the Lions player, number 28. Kieran Gibbs it is. Gappa will pick it up for the Sharks, rounds Yokoyama. Drops it back to Finn Page, who plays it up the boards. Rory Lockerbie looks to drop it off to... And Lockerbie gains it back from Yokoyama. Nice play by Rory Lockerbie. Turns as he skates into the zone, dumps it towards Scott Henderson. The Lions will clear round the boards. Danskin will get there first for the Sharks, keep it in the zone, plays it down low to Gappa in the corner. Gappa to Scott Henderson, controls on his skate blade and loses an edge.
Stood in the puck.
Plays Sharks, keep it still in the zone. Scott Henderson, goal! Scotty Henderson adds a 12 for the Sharks. Gappa involved again, and the Sharks are enjoying themselves out there now.
Stood in the puck, fell down, got up, rifled it home.
Yeah, nice play by Scotty Henderson. Sharks just adding more and more gloss to this performance as it goes on.
Round dozen now, round dozen. 2:03 left. I suspect the Sharks are up around the 60 shot mark now. It's just
they've absolutely battered the net of Sheldon, and their dominance is assured, and they come again now. Johnny McBean gains his own, fires, big blocker save. Boyd can't quite get there at the second attempt to clear it length of ice, and Danskin will get there first. He's under pressure through Hall, but Danskin just rounds his man, rounds the net, skates away from his man, does well. Actually, it's dispossessed by number 94. Oxley does well to take it off of Danskin. Tidied up by Toner, and McBean will pick it up for the Sharks. McBean finds Boyd. Boyd in neutral ice, will gain the zone. Rounds his man. Boyd still has it for the Sharks. Does enough, gets there. Johnny McBean picks it up for the Sharks. Plays it towards Boyd. Boyd has it in the corner. Minute and 10 seconds left in this one. Boyd's tied up in the boards, but somehow comes out with it, finds McBean. McBean now skates out in front, pulls a nice move, lovely hands from McBean. Sharks showboating now. Scott Crane's parked himself in front of the net. Two absolute units in front of the net, in fact, for the Sharks there. It was Scott Crane and Struan Tona. They're going to take some moving as the Sharks head off for a line change, and the Lions ice the puck. 52.8 seconds left to go.
Not a person left this rink early, because this hockey is just wonderful to watch.
This game's had a wee bit of everything. It's had the underdogs taking the early lead.
Yeah, they angered the Sharks. They're probably the worst thing they did.
There's been fights, there's been loads of penalties, there's been loads of lovely hockey played.
Penalty shots.
You name it, this game has had it, and it's the Solway Sharks asserting the double champion dominance that they have this season. Hungry for more. Ross Murray, of course, spoke about the Shark Slam. Sharks have it through Richard Bentham. Bentham will play it round the boards. Gordon Horn will pick it up, just dumps it down low. Lewis Young will get there first. Lewis Young has it. Lewis Young skates the whole way round the zone, finds Bentham, who finds a nice pass to Gordon Horn. Can only flick it as far as Christian Johnson fires a shot just wide of the net. Bentham keeps it in at the zone, on net again.
Chances.
Murray was there, does well to control it, but the Lions will clear. Very young line for the Lions. Everybody on the ice wearing a face cage at the minute. It shows the development pathway they are on. Gordon Horn's after this one. Ross Murray puts his man under pressure, and Bentham does well to get there first. Clears the puck away, and that will do us for the final home match of the 22-23 season. Solway Sharks finish with a 12-1 win against the Nottingham Lions. Obviously, this is the halfway point as the Sharks roll into Nottingham tomorrow to finish the job off, and of course secure their place in Altrincham next weekend for the Final Four playoff action. The Solway Sharks hungry for more trophies already. Of course, the double champions, sealing NIHL North 1 League and NIHL North Cup success so far this season.
Yeah, technically on that is what you call a humping, an absolute hammering. Really good play, excellent stuff. Sharks, potentially 4 more games left in this season, and still got a few trophies in their sights. The whole Grand Slam is still on course. I can't see any other result than the Sharks going through tomorrow. I mean, the Sharks are not going to get beat 12 goals.
No.
Tomorrow, that's just not going to happen. You and me could play